So, this is a very interesting connection that was made. In my most recent video, I had spoken about this news clip where they had shown this quote unquote green meteorite either flying above or hitting the top of the St. Louis Arch, going right through it and disappearing. Now, I'm not going to sit here and argue about what it did because it's all about angles and perspectives. Me personally, I think it did hit the top of the arch and disappeared. But what I do want to argue is whether or not these green flying things are actually meteorites. Because somebody left a comment on that video saying that that green meteorite looked very similar to the green meteorite that was caught on camera during the whole Las Vegas alien situation that happened a couple years ago. Remember that news story where this family in Las Vegas said they saw these 8, 9, 10 foot tall aliens in their backyard? Some people thought they were pulling off a hoax. This was just for clicks, views, clout, and so forth. But what a lot of people do not talk about, even to this day, was how the police were reacting to the whole situation and what they saw.
Well, the 8 News Now investigators obtaining video as officers then responded to the call you just heard. You'll see the officers also saw something in the sky that night, but the big question is, what was it, and is it all connected?
Leave her alone.
It's almost midnight on May 1st when a Las Vegas Metro police officer's body cam catches this, something flashing low in the sky.
911 emergency.
Minutes later,
there's like an 8-foot person beside it, and another one's inside, and it has big eyes and looking at us, and it's still there.
Someone calls 911 reporting 2 large figures in their backyard.
No, I'm so nervous right now.
The 8 News Now investigators obtaining another officer's video as he's sent to the Northwest Valley home.
I have butterflies, bro. Everyone saw a shooting star, then these people say there's aliens in their backyard.
By now, it's more than an hour after that bright light. Officers meeting up with the caller and his family.
What'd you see?
It was like a big creature.
A big creature?
Yeah, like around 10 feet tall.
I'm not going to BS you guys. One of my partners said they saw something fall out of the sky too, so that's why I'm kind of curious. Did you see anything land in your backyard, or?
They see like a big, that's what they say. They see like a big something with light.
What I saw right now, I do believe in it.
Police walk into the backyard to investigate, but Metro blacked out that part of the video because it's considered private property. What's clear, they're taking this call seriously.
Hey, this might sound like a really dumb question, but did you guys see anything fall out of the sky?
Asking others what they saw.
I would normally discount it as nothing. However, seeing as one of my partners said they saw it too, only reason I'm actually investigating it further.
That investigation turning up no concrete answers as of Wednesday. Whatever or whoever fell into that yard, long gone within minutes.
Oh, hey. If those 9-foot beings come back, don't call us, all right? Deal with it yourself. I ain't dealing with that.
So yeah, this is quite weird.
So yeah, as coincidence may have it, the police also saw this green meteorite that looks very similar to what hit the top of the St. Louis Arch just right before the call was made, alerting them of these aliens in its backyard. What I didn't know until now, reading this article from 8 News Now, is that the police went around the neighborhood talking to neighbors, interviewing them about this whole situation, and the neighbors said they also felt something land in the area. The police also did something very suspicious, which makes me believe that something did indeed go down here. A few days after this incident, the family who was involved said 2 LVMPD sergeants returned to the scene to ask follow-up questions. The family said they also saw men in suits and sunglasses in a car with government license plates driving past the house in the following days. Metro Police said officers installed temporary cameras for the family's benefit, so they put up all these cameras on top of the family's home. When have you ever known police to do this in any type of situation? Let's say in any other situation you report to the police that you believe that somebody's trespassing on your property, damaging your property, and so forth. They'll go ahead and tell you to install a camera. They're not going to come out and install a camera on your property. So for those out there that believe that the family was pulling off some kind of hoax, the police were acting very, very shady in this whole situation.
Yeah, and Ashley, we are getting no indications from police that they are investigating this as a hoax. They are taking this seriously, taking this family seriously, and they've also confirmed that, yes, they did put up cameras here around June 10th. and they sent us a statement. I want to read that to you. That statement: after the initial contact with Las Vegas Metro Police Department, the family at the residence reported they heard noises in their yard and were afraid for their safety. We offered to put them up to ease their concerns or of someone coming to harass or harm them. But Ashley, earlier today when I spoke with the father, when he came out to get the mail, he said that the camera was taken down, and even he doesn't know why they were taken down. But they are still concerned about their safety.
Matter of fact, that was one of the very first questions they asked the family when they arrived. Do you have any cameras? I guess they were there to confiscate.
Oh, yeah, I bet. Do you have cameras?
One camera, but it's down to the company. I'm going to take the camera.
The landlord is the only one who can see the camera.
Then they made sure to ask it again after they examined the backyard.
Yeah.
Did you guys have, I'm sorry, no surveillance, no video?
The cameras don't belong to us.
That's from the company camera. So,
Hasta los postes de luz.
no, the post, one of the posts.
The landlord got a camera on the post here, over here. I'll show you.
No, they don't see it.
Yeah, the landlord has it, so we don't have access to it, but
Oh, okay.
someone else has access to it.
But here's what's even more bizarre. When it came to the initial body cam footage, the police turned everything off, video and audio. You're going to hear from this individual. He's going to say that they should have either blurred it out and kept the audio going, but ultimately they redacted everything.
That they cannot understand this because when they released the body cam video from the October 17th massacre, 2017 massacre, what they do is if there's something that they don't want you to see, they'll blur it out. But there's no reason why they couldn't have blurred out whatever they don't want you to see. Say if there was something in the back of the family's yard that the family didn't want to be seen, the audio should have been running. In this case, everything is blocked out. So we don't know the conversation between the police officer in the backyard and Angel. We don't know what they were looking at.
Angel's the young man.
So
I want to be clear for
point.
our audience. He's the young teenager who called 911 and was the primary observer, witness of this, although other members of his family said they saw it too. Why do you suppose then that the Las Vegas Metro Police did that, redacted 16 full minutes, went to complete silence and black for 16 minutes? And do you think they'll reverse course to just try to put an end to all the speculation?
Well, obviously it's redacted both on audio and video because there's obviously something they don't want us to see and something to hear. Now, my sources told me that immediately after this incident, a Las Vegas Metro Police Department detective who he works with the gangs or something. He's an IT expert. My sources said he was immediately called in, and the speculation is that something was either deleted or changed in the record system, whether it was a body camera or a dispatch system, we don't know, because he's not even talking to his friends. I got his name, but I'm not going to mention it. So that came from reliable sources within Metro.
Which is odd because that's exactly what the police were doing. They were blurring things when they were in the front yard, but as soon as they go to the back, everything goes black. Then video and audio appear again once they leave the backyard. Why? So yeah, the police knew something after seeing that green meteorite and getting that call. But when it came to the family, the most recent update was about a year ago, a year after the incident, where they believed that it wasn't aliens that they saw, but demons, that it was something spiritual.
So what's interesting also, Alex, in the year, almost a year that has passed, is that something else has begun to happen, they say, now inside the home. And they're very afraid of what they have been, what they say that they have been witnessing inside their home. Can you describe what it is they're telling you?
Yeah, and I think that's the reason why Angel has pivoted from calling what he saw that night an alien instead, now calling it a demon, because he feels like he's seeing so much paranormal activity and just strange, unexplainable things happening inside of his home. There was two anecdotes, one in particular that we're about to show you that literally made the hairs on my arms stand up just because it is so freaky, so unexplainable. We have a segment of that part of the conversation.
So what I'll go ahead and do is I'll leave a link to the rest of that news clip. It's pretty lengthy, But he goes on to describe a paranormal experience. For example, he has a cross with Jesus on it. He saw Jesus being ripped off the cross, Bible pages being ripped out of the Bible, furniture being moved, and so forth. So again, they believe that it's demons, a demonic presence, rather than aliens. And what's interesting is that this would actually be the last time we would ever hear from this family again. And that's my theory too. What we think are aliens are interdimensional beings, demons, and so forth. But again, that's just my theory. But yeah, all this started between the police and the family, especially the police, after the appearance of this green meteorite. So it's very possible that the St. Louis Arch is a portal or a gateway for these things. Matter of fact, that's what it's actually called, the gateway or the portal. And I have a lot of footage of these green, and when I call them meteorites, I don't actually believe they are. I'm just saying that's what they're calling them, of them doing very odd movements like this video here where you can see it correcting course. But yeah, I thought that was a very interesting connection, going right back to a very mysterious older news story. But moving on, I do want to go ahead and see what other people are talking about. And apparently over in Saudi Arabia, people are seeing two suns. Now this happened on January 2nd, but it would seem like a lot of odd things appeared in the skies across multiple countries, especially in the United States on January 2nd.
देखो बड़ा खतरनाक दोनों सूरज दिख रहे हैं, देख लो। तो सूरज कैसे है? देखो बाबा, आप लोग को दिखा दे रहे हैं, देखे बिना हो गया, दो सूरज है एकदम तगड़ा। देखो मौसम देखो क्या हाल है, हाँ? मौसम देख लो, देख लो, देखो कितना भीड़ लगा, देखो आदमी लोग कितना खड़ा है बाबा, आदमी के एकदम लाइन लगा इधर से पूरा ये आदमी करके पूरा देखो।
So this was posted on X, and of course people have to get confirmation from Grok whether the video is real or not, and Grok's reply was the video appears real and captures an optical phenomenon called a sundog caused by ice crystals in the atmosphere during the unusual snowfall in Saudi Arabia on December 18, 2025. They are not two real suns, but an illusion confirmed by weather reports and similar videos. But here's the thing, when it comes to a sundog, all other lights are normally the same size, and there's normally 3 of them with 2 reflections and the sun. But what was captured in Saudi Arabia, it looks like 2 orange orbs with one being smaller than the other. So they're not even, which is typically found in a sundog. But interestingly enough, when it comes to these orange orbs, this was seen on the 2nd of January in California.
Look how it's radiating like a snowflake. There's a center in there that's mediating high energy and high light. For it to go through the clouds like that, it has to be
Imagine
very
the clouds
yeah, it has to be very powerful. If the clouds weren't there, it should have been emitted more bright. But the clouds are there and it's emitting like this, like a pointed snowflake.
Look at that down there.
Oh,
look down there. Wait, what the heck?
Are there flares?
That's really close.
Dang it, I can't focus on it on the phone.
That's not flares, guys.
The top light's disappearing.
Oh, do you think it let out one of the spaceships? Oh, look, it's gone.
No, it's still there. It's still there. I could see it.
Okay, and if they take it, I'm okay with that.
I'm not okay with that.
Yeah, I'm not into butt stuff.
Well, I'm pretty sure if you ask them politely not to do that to you. Or maybe work a deal.
Now the response was, when it came to these lights, and many people saw these lights even in Colorado, was that this was a part of a SpaceX launch that happened on the 2nd in California, which is fine, but people in California also saw these orange orbs on the 1st as well. But this gets even more bizarre because this was seen in the skies above California, Los Angeles to be exact, on January 2nd? And was this also SpaceX? What in the world is that, right? It looks like some kind of sky worm or a baby dragon, but at the end of the day, it's probably SpaceX. And even during some points of the video, it looks like something is fluttering or flapping behind it like it has wings. Some kind of flying serpent. Now you might be saying, come on, Minutes of Horror, a flying serpent, get real, get with the program. But these are the things I have been documenting ever since the April 8th solar eclipse, where NASA did say they were firing all 3 rockets called Apep, Apophis, or the Serpents, which is basically the snake in ancient Egypt, which is the equivalent of Satan. And then we had CERN again looking for dark matter. And ever since that day, it seemed like these strange things that look like serpents have been seen all over the skies. During the LA fires, they were really all over the skies. People were catching them on camera left and right, the black ones and the white ones. Matter of fact, I actually made a video on just that 11 months ago, which shows these things all over the skies during the LA fires, which I will go ahead and play at the end of this video. Moving on, but still talking about January 2nd, these were seen above the skies of Florida on January 2nd.
Yeah, there's some orbits right here. That's weird, and there's 3 of them.
Weird.
Look, there's 3 of them. 1, 2.
It makes no sense.
What is that?
What?
And there's 3 of them.
Happy New Year! Happy New Year! Me ahogo, puñeta.
Está ahogándose aquí con una uva.
Es que me estoy espetando las uvas. Estoy cubriendo todas las bases. Todas las bases estoy cubriendo.
This reddish-orange orb was also seen in Rome on January 2nd as well. It was picked up by news cameras. And the question happens to be, what in the world happened on January 2nd, and is SpaceX, again, the cover-up?
Something very bizarre and unidentified showed up on the Doppler radar here in Las Vegas, Nevada. Now, I hadn't seen this video, so one of my followers sent it to me because she wanted to get my take on what I thought it was. So me being me, jumped down the rabbit hole and did some research. And in this video, you'll see an anomaly, an unidentified something, show up on the radar out of nowhere, go completely against the storm system that was going on, and had movements that are not typical to a storm system. So I watched this video. I want y'all to watch this because there have been some really weird and unexplained things happening in Vegas all December. Like the fact that we were told there would be no rain and clear skies for the whole month. We've had 0 visibility and rain almost all month. That's not suspicious. And throughout the nighttime, if you go outside, you can almost hear metal crunching in the air. Now that's a story and a video for another time, but I want you to watch this video because, well, take a look. As you can see in the video, Doppler radar was doing what it does, and it was just monitoring and tracking everything. Precipitation, everything was looking correct as to what the weather was predicted. And then all of a sudden, that thing, out of nowhere, just shows up. Here's it zoomed in a bit to take a closer look. It wasn't connected to the storm or tied to the sweeps at all. And it wasn't moving with the surrounding returns. It literally was not acting like weather has ever acted, especially with it just showing up out of nowhere. I'm not here to convince you it was or wasn't something. I think I know what it was, but what do you think it was? Whatever it was unexplained and out of nowhere.
That video came from Jay Clay, and yeah, it definitely looked like some kind of portal opened up, but we have also seen these time and time again on weather radars just right before a massive weather event. So look out for any news coming out of Nevada and the weather.
It's 2026, and our future looks very bright and very clear, especially with the help of AI. But can it become very serious and even deadly? And why do I say that? Because an AI video posted to social media led thousands upon thousands of people to a famous New York City landmark, the Brooklyn Bridge, in hopes of seeing a fireworks display on New Year's Eve at the stroke of midnight. One problem, when everyone showed up and midnight came, nothing happened. And there were thousands upon thousands of people, both on the Brooklyn side at the Promenade, the Manhattan side, and even on the Brooklyn Bridge. If you haven't seen the viral videos, take a look at this. Look at this.
4, 3, 2,
Look at the crowds.
1.
Look how many people are there. Look at this.
Any second now.
And there were people on the bridge itself. Check this video out. Look at that. Look how many people are on the bridge walkway. Absolutely nothing happened. I want you to think about this for a second. If someone can post an AI video on social media platforms, including this one, and get thousands upon thousands of people to show up at the same time, at the same location, what do you think could possibly go wrong there? And to make matters even worse, there was little to zero news coverage on what happened both around the bridge and on the bridge. And there was not even a mention anywhere except for this article I found in the New York Post. We got pranked. Thousands were duped by AI into watching a non-existent New York City fireworks show at the Brooklyn Bridge. So my advice to you is the next time you see an event that is posted on a video all over social media, do your homework, double check it, make sure it is happening, because AI pranks are going to get someone in a lot of trouble and possibly even hurt. Fortunately, this was just a prank. And guess what? It worked. It did what it was designed to do. Next time could be something else. Let me know your thoughts on this in the comments. And as always, I'd love to hear from you.
So yeah, that video came from the Jody69, and I feel like this is a setup to see if they can go ahead and get a bunch of people to gather in one spot and then cause a mass event. All these people just happen to listen to AI, and the AI told them, go to this specific place, and they all did it like lemmings. What type of idiocracy are we living in?
Did the ghost of a mother save her toddler from a watery grave? One late cold night in Utah, Jennifer Gruesbeck and her daughter Lily were driving down back roads when Jennifer lost control of her vehicle on a small bridge and overturned. Her vehicle landed upside down in a shallow creek, and almost 14 hours later, a fisherman found the vehicle and called the police. The first responders showed up to the scene but assumed that the car had been abandoned until they heard a woman yelling for help. So they rushed to action and overturned the car and found Jennifer's lifeless body. But in the back seat, dangling over the water in her car seat, was Lily, a 14-month-old baby. Lily had hypothermia and was unconscious, but they were able to save her. All the first responders on the scene heard the woman yelling for help, saying, "Save us, help us, please." One officer said that he's even lost sleep over this case because he does not understand how the woman was yelling for help, because they said that the woman, Jennifer, most likely passed away on impact. It took 4 days for Lily to recover, but she is just fine, thanks to the ghost of her mother. They were actually able to pull the audio of the body camera to analyze it for an EVP of the woman yelling, and I'm going to show it to y'all now.
Eric, get over here, Beddoes. We're helping, we're coming. Eric, get over here, Beddoes. We're helping, we're coming.
You can definitely hear a woman yelling in the body cam audio. I can't quite make out what she's saying. What do you guys think she's saying? And if you like creepy content, don't forget to like and follow.
That video came from Whoa, That's Strange. And yeah, that's very eerie. I've actually covered this story once before in reference to another story where something very similar had happened, but this is the first time I'm actually hearing the audio that the police heard. When they arrived to the location where the voice was coming from, where the car had crashed, all they found was the baby, but no other person.
And suddenly fades out as if it were never there to begin with. This has left most of the workers creeped out to go near the area alone. A few months prior to this, something else happened during closing hours of the restaurant. One of the staff members noticed an emergency exit at the back left open, so he steadily approaches it while remaining alert for any intruders, when something undeniably terrifying happens. What looks like a hand or a giant finger appears to manifest out of nowhere and tap the worker on the back of the shoulder. On another night, a staff member noticed what he thought was the reflection of someone on the fridge, but nobody was there, so he tried to catch it again. Watch closely.
Bro. Am I tripping? Who is that? Nah, man. Nah, man. What the?
Either this restaurant was built on top of a burial ground or these owners take part in weird rituals, but either way, I would not be working there.
Tell me who you are. I'm going to phone the police.
In 2022, a TikTok user named Demi Graham uploaded a disturbing video outside of her apartment in the UK, and it features a man roaming outside her door, claiming to be a delivery driver, and attempting to give her some type of gift, and not knowing his true intentions, it leaves her terrified because he seems to leave and come back multiple times. Here's part of that recording. Take a look.
Why are you at my door?
Sorry, it's just...
Who are you?
John.
John?
This is just a candle I wanted to give you. A candle as a present.
It's what you talking about. Why? Who sent you to my door? Who sent you to my door?
Yeah, I'm just... Sorry.
No, I want to know who sent you to my door. I don't know who you are.
Nobody.
Cut the act.
I just want to give you a present. I'm sorry.
Who are you? But where have you came from?
Can I just give you that?
Where have you came from? Why? How do you know that's my cup?
It's alright, doesn't matter. Sorry.
Are you stalking me or something?
No.
Who are you?
Sorry.
Who are you? Tell me who you are. I'm going to phone the police. Tell me who you are. Who are you? What the f? I just had this guy at my door saying he's from Amazon. And I don't know who that is. What the f? Who are you? What do you want? I'm trying to leave my house. I'm going to make you keep this video on for my own safety.
Now at this point, she realizes he's essentially blocking the way she needs to go to get out of the building. But trusting her gut, she decides to take the emergency staircase. And this is what happens.
I don't know what the What are you doing? Who are you? Can you please help me? Guys, trying to fucking he's just came in my door and he's get on my stairway. I heard all them do is try to come into my house. I'm good on my phone.
Now, as you can see, she was able to get outside and find some help. But outside of that, there wasn't much updates to find, because her TikTok account is now gone. However, there was a comment on Reddit claiming that she had posted an update at the time. And it states, yeah, she posted another couple of videos. The guy has come back to her door and asked to see her with her top off, and telling her she looks good. She suspects her ex is sending these people to scare her, and that she thinks he is watching or listening in on her in some way. Now again, I want to reiterate that I cannot confirm this, and this is all alleged. And being that her account is now dark, we likely won't get the answers.
But sometimes, though, people can be scarier than any entities, and I was trying to look for any updates to what happened to her, and I cannot find anything. Yeah, she went completely dark after this video.
One woman goes missing, and a witness later dies. Hello, true crimerers. This is the case of Caitlin Ledbetter. Viewer discretion is advised. This case occurred in 2021 in Hillam, Tennessee. That is where 25-year-old Caitlin Ledbetter was living with her father and his father's girlfriend. And they lived here in this home where a home once stood. We will get to that soon. And Caitlin was in a relationship with a man named Dustin. The two of them were actually engaged to be married. Both of them were looking forward to their future together. I know Caitlin also had a sister who at the time was living quite a distance away. On the evening of May 2nd, 2021, Caitlin's sister got a phone call from their father, Scott, who lived with Caitlin. He very calmly told the sister, Kaylee, Caitlin's missing. Caitlin just jumped out of her bedroom window this morning. She's just gone now. Caitlin had allegedly gotten into an argument with Scott's younger girlfriend, Crystal. Caitlin then runs up to her bedroom. She jumps out of the window, which is 5 to 7 feet off the ground. She's barefoot, and she's in her pajamas, and she didn't have her cell phone with her. Area surrounding the house is notably very rough terrain. Extremely dense woods. It is not an easy area to just navigate on, especially barefoot. And at first, it sounded like the father's girlfriend, Crystal, was sort of just agreeing with the story that Scott was telling the father. But the police are saying, well, she was 25 years old. She was just a few weeks shy of turning 26. She's an adult. Adults are allowed to go missing. They are allowed to make themselves disappear. There's nothing illegal about it. We can't do anything. Wouldn't be until 8 months later when police did their first official search, and they never found any sign of Caitlin. What also confused people was that the father said that she had jumped out of the window sometime around 5:30 in the morning. Yet Caitlin's cell phone was found in the bedroom, and she had sent text messages to her sister at about 7 o'clock that same morning, an hour and a half after the father says she disappeared. Caitlin also did not have the ability, she did not have any data on her phone, so she could not send text messages outside of the home because that's where the Wi-Fi was. Then his girlfriend, Crystal, would tell Kaylee, the sister, a different story. On the night/early morning in question, Caitlin got into an argument with Scott with regards to the fiance, Dustin, sleeping over at the house. Caitlin locked herself in her bedroom. At that point, Crystal, pictured here, said that Scott would kick down the bedroom door. And then Caitlin jumped out of the window and just seemed to poof into thin air, never to be seen again. August 18th, 2021, 3 months after Caitlin's mysterious disappearance, Scott calls 911. My house is on fire. Inside the house, his girlfriend, Crystal. The house was burned to the ground. There was nothing left, including Crystal. She was in the fire. It's a little suspicious. This was just after Crystal shared information that Scott was not telling a truthful story. There was no criminal investigation into the fire. Nobody was charged, and there was no autopsy done on Crystal's body. The sheriff's office, the local authorities there handled Caitlin's disappearance very poorly from the very beginning. They did not take it seriously, and maybe if they did, they would have found her. Or maybe they would not have, but you'll never know because they didn't do anything. It took them 8 months to start searching. What makes police even more questionable is that when Caitlin was reported missing, when police would actually go to the house to talk about the disappearance, well, Scott here, the father, he had a warrant out for his arrest, but they didn't arrest him. This is for an unrelated crime. What the hell's going on there in Hillam, Tennessee? One woman dies in a mysterious fire months after another woman disappears off the face of the earth. Obviously, something ain't right here. I think there's no doubt that foul play was involved in this case, but why isn't it being treated as such? This was a young woman who was extremely excited for her future with her fiancé. Fiancé, by the way, there's no insinuations that he had anything to do with this. Not always the boyfriend of the fiancé. The guilt really does appear to be more pointed towards her father. What does he know? What really happened that night? Did Crystal know and that's why she died in that fire mysteriously? Was that truly an accident? Sometimes if it looks too conveniently like an accident, it isn't an accident. Someone somewhere out there knows the truth about what really happened to Caitlin Ledbetter. Perhaps that someone is you. If you have any information on the disappearance of Caitlin Ledbetter, you are asked to please call 931-823-5635.
That video came from Making a True Crimer, and did I hear that correctly? The police, they did not search for this missing woman until 8 months after she disappeared. What is going on with the police in this location? One way or another, the father had to be connected to the police. We do know the police are a fraternity of the Brotherhood, and I'm sure the father was also a part of the Brotherhood as well, and they were doing all they can to not incriminate him. So what I'm going to go ahead and do next in this last segment, like I said, I'm going to go ahead and play my other video from my other channel, Minutes of Horror, showing these things all in the skies above California during the fires. An individual on Twitter, Cho Mama, tagged me in this video and said, Minutes of Horror is not black, but it's interesting. And I was thinking to myself, what do they mean by that? It's not black, but it's interesting. In this video that was captured by Fox News, you can see this white thing that looks like it has some kind of wispy tail shooting out of this smoke cloud, shooting out of the fire. But what's pretty strange is that once it shoots out of the fire at high speed, it begins to curve and then fly over the location. Now, I personally myself thought this was strange. Other people are saying that this could be some kind of dew, something that may have been used in Maui. Other people are saying that this could be some kind of plane. For instance, this person here, they are saying that, well, clearly some kind of plane with that tail on it. And given that it flies low and fast through the smoke over a fire, my guess would be that this would be one of the many types of fire management aircraft the Forest Service uses to fight fires like these. But that is pretty much the back and forth when it comes to this video. You have some people saying that this is strange, this could be a drone, this could be a UFO. You have other people saying this is something more natural, like something may have exploded and just shot out of the fire, or again, this could be a plane. So again, even though I find it strange, it's pretty hard to say with one video, but other video footage has come out. For instance, this other video from Fox News, which shows 2 of these flying in the air. Then I saw this next video, which made me realize what Cho Mama was telling me when she said it's not black, but it's still interesting, because in this next video, you can clearly see something slithering in the air.
Coming in, the Palisades is our neighbor, Topanga, Mandeville Canyon. We really want to welcome everybody into our city, and also for our residents here who are being evacuated, we want to make sure that they see us there with those that are receiving them at these shelters. So I plan to be wherever I need to be, welcoming people and continuing to push out information. We're asking people to follow our social medias, City of Santa Monica Instagram handle. All of us have our own Instagram handles as well. We'll be sharing that information. But santamonica.gov is the best place to go right now to click on all the links and get air quality reports, evacuation updates, and more information on the fire.
again, also helpful. And before I let you go, a final moment here, Mayor Negrete. These evacuation orders, again, feel so surreal. I'm sure to you, as you mentioned, this is something that you saw from afar, and here it is coming to you, at least in the form of an evacuation order. For the folks at home who might be impacted by these evacuation orders, some of the best practices we've heard from, for instance, Supervisor Horvath, are to leave a note on the door, to leave the door unlocked. That makes people feel uneasy about leaving their home in that way in light of potential looters.
It was this video here that made me remember what this thing looked like. This thing looks like those black things that I have been talking about quite often on this channel. These black things that are seen flying in the skies at high speeds, slithering in the skies at high speeds during certain events. This is definitely no plane, but the way that this is moving, this is something else that's either being controlled or it's controlling itself, like it's some kind of creature, some type of entity. Something similar along the lines, like I said, what we saw with those black flying things. But come to find out, it's not just the white ones flying in the sky, it's also the black ones that are seen flying in the skies above California as these fires are raging. This video was uploaded to Twitter by an individual named Rack. Many of these things were seen flying in the sky and captured on camera in Santa Monica Beach. I have absolutely no idea what I'm looking at here, but as I was researching this further, come to find out people in Maui, when the fires were happening in Maui, also recorded something white in the sky as well. Multiple white things and flashes of light were seen in the skies above Maui. Take a look at this video here.
Look behind you. Insane. Whoa, did you see that just shoot across? Did anyone else see that?
Everything's windy, and then there's a flash, and I think that's when a tree's falling on a power line. The power goes out, our generator kicks in, the camera comes back online, and then the forest is on fire.